The Season 4 Reloaded update is here, and it releases tomorrow for Modern Warfare 2. And this update introduces superpowers, new Warzone changes, an incredible new weapon, the final dramatic chapter of the Adamgrad raids, and a limited time crossover event with The Boys TV show. So as Billy Butcher says, sometimes you gotta spank the soups when they get out of line. The new limited time Boys event will introduce superpowers, which I'll talk about here in a second, but the event also introduces Homelander, Starlight, and Black Noir, all as brand new playable characters you can pick up in the shop. And each of these characters will have unique blueprints similar to what they have from the TV show, and unique executions matching their abilities from the TV show. So Homelander will laser vision someone to death, Starlight will blind them to death, and Black Noir will use his knives to quickly execute them. However, these brand new playable operators are nothing without their superpowers, which you yourself can pick up in Warzone when you use the Temp V field upgrade for a limited time. However, this field upgrade has a catch. The new Temp V gives you a superpower to use at the cost of it being purely random. You don't get to pick the superpower. The 4 superpowers you're able to use, however, are pretty awesome and should feel pretty familiar if you played the original Warzone. The very first superpower you can get at random is the Charge Jump. The Charge Jump should be very familiar to a lot of y'all who played the Haunting of Verdansk, as it's the same ability that the zombies had and the Ghost had in the first and second Hauntings of Verdansk. You can control how much you charge the jump to jump over buildings, jump to the second floor, or just jump out of the way if you're in a firefight. However, if you need something for those final seconds of the game, those moments when you're getting pushed in from multiple sides, you need the Electric Shockwave. The Electric Shockwave acts like the Ghost EMP blast in the Haunting of Verdansk. However, this Electric Shockwave will expand out from you in a radius, damaging enemy players and enemy combatants, as well as acting like an EMP blast, destroying equipment in the radius and disabling vehicles. It's a great opportunity to use, especially in those close quarter combat situations. On the other hand, if you really want to play as Homelander, then this third superpower is for you. It levitates you up in the air while using laser vision to torch your enemies. However, this ability has 2 downsides. The first catch to the superpower is that when you start your laser vision, you can't stop it. It just continues to go until your timer runs out with the ability. And the second catch is that you levitate up in the air, so you have no cover, making you vulnerable to enemy fire from all sides while you levitate off the ground. So I recommend using this ability in only the rarest circumstances or when you know you're safe to do so. Don't use it if you're getting pushed from all sides, because you'll quickly get melted out of the air. And the fourth and last superpower is honestly the most useful for those on your team who like to push the enemy. It is the ability to teleport. It launches you in whatever direction you are facing, with a limited range. However, you can go in that direction you face, and this gives you a great superpower because it allows you to quickly get behind the enemies in an instant and spray them down from behind. Or it gives you the ability to quickly teleport out of a gunfight if your team is losing, giving you the ability to keep pushing forward and trying to get the win in the game. The superpowers are honestly great to use. However, like I said, the kind of downside is that they're random and you don't get to pick which superpower you get. However, if you're on the other side of this fight and you're trying to stop the superpowered enemies, you're trying to roleplay Billy Butcher, then you need the full auto MX Guardian shotgun. This is an incredibly unique shotgun as it's a bullpup design. However, this full auto shotgun has 2 catches. The first is that the MX Guardian has 3 tubes for shells, carrying 5 rounds each. You can spray all 5 bullets out of one tube full auto before having to rotate to the next tube and start the process over again, meaning although you do have 15 rounds, there's going to be a break between how often you can fire them. And the second catch is that the reload time for this gun is atrociously slow. You have to manually load 15 shells, each one individually, into a tube with no bag loading, so you can load one tube with 5 rounds, rotate to the next, another 5, and another 5 again. But regardless, the shotgun's going to shake up Warzone. It's going to be very powerful, especially in those close quarter combat situations, and bursting 5 rounds at a time full auto is definitely going to make the Warzone dynamic shift a little bit. However, speaking of the new changes to the Warzone dynamic, we're getting a ton of huge changes to Warzone. Starting with the introduction of Battle Royale to Vondel. Vondel will be getting a brand new Battle Royale game mode with 72 players on the map at one time. However, that's not the only change coming to Vondel in the new season. In the new season, Vondel and Ashika Island will be entering a new rotation system, where Vondel and Ashika Island will be available on specific days and times, meaning you can go one day and play Resurgence on Ashika Island, and the next day it'll be Vondel. This is a great idea by Call of Duty because it shakes up gameplay. It allows you to play on Ashika Island a couple days and Vondel the next couple days, so you don't get too comfortable on one or the other, but you will have the opportunity to play on both. And on top of the new Resurgence rotation system, the Gulag is actually going to be rotated out for a new Gulag. It'll be a wine cellar dungeon Gulag set in Vondel. This should feel very, very familiar to y'all who played the original Warzone, because it is the exact same layout, and it'll just be kind of updated for the new Modern Warfare 2 graphics. And along with the Season 4 Reloaded update from Modern Warfare 2, we're also getting a couple major additions to Warzone and Resurgence, starting with an occupation scan like we had in the original Warzone. Basically, a scan will go off, and anyone who's standing or moving around will be pinged on the map for everyone else to see. However, if you want to stay concealed, you have to lay down and go prone. Also getting a portable redeploy drone. This will be different than the personal redeploy drone, as this will be for one individual operator who hooks onto the rope and himself is pulled towards the drone as you ascend. You can cut yourself free at any time, but if you hit the top of the drone, you will automatically be cut from the redeploy drone and the drone will be destroyed. This is only good for one person, so I recommend using it when you need to get out of a gunfight or your team is going to lose a gunfight and you need to quickly get away. We're also getting a brand new contract in Warzone. We're getting the Signals Interference contract pulled from DMZ into Warzone. This contract actually has you hacking 3 other different contracts, and when you get this done, you'll get a small cash reward and the ability to get cash if another team completes one of the hacked contracts on the map. And speaking of DMZ, DMZ will see a small amount of changes and improvements done to squad assimilation and a brand new hunt contract, but really not a ton of other changes coming to DMZ in the grand scheme of the Season 4 Reloaded update. However, we are getting some nice changes to the multiplayer in Modern Warfare 2 in the form of a new map and some great quality of life changes to improve known issues in Modern Warfare 2. And one of the biggest fixes they're making is actually that the report abuse in Modern Warfare 2 will now actually be reflected back to the person doing the reporting. So if you were trying to get other people kicked from a game randomly just because they're better than you, you'll now actually see yourself kicked out of the game and possibly even banned for a day or up to a week. But the most exciting part of the Season 4 Reloaded update, honestly, in my opinion, is the last episode of the Modern Warfare 2 raids, the epic conclusion to the Adamgrad raid. I honestly am highly anticipating this as I've been trying to avoid all of the leaks online so I can stay surprised, but Call of Duty has stated that the raid will start with Alex, Farah, and Price in separate jail cells being held by Hadir, along with a quote underneath from Ghost saying, "Be careful who you trust, Sergeant. People you know can hurt you the most," which I believe is actually a reference to Hadir betraying his sister, as opposed to what most people think of a betrayal within Task Force 141, but the deepest betrayals are often from the ones we love, which is why Hadir and Farah would make the most emotional betrayal. And talking about Modern Warfare 2 raids, you should go check out the raid I did with the real Alex, aka Chad Michael Collins. If you want to see me and him run the second raid in Modern Warfare 2, I'll include a link to a video on his channel below, so go check it out. But tell me in the comments down below, what are you most excited to see? Are you excited for the boys event coming to Modern Warfare 2? Are you excited for the raid? Or are you just excited that there's a brand new shotgun coming in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 that's definitely going to be overpowered in close range combat? Tell me down below what you think, and until next time, I am Icebergs, your Call of Duty informant. Stay frosty.